Dr. Bernard Straile, and this is a series about energy medicine and bioenergetics in particular, and the great potential it has in bringing wellness to the people. It's going to be a great tool, especially in these trying times where we live in a pandemic, and which seems to just be going on and on and on. And what we can do to understand our bodies better and help them to deal with what's going on. So the Guru Sri Ravi Shankar, he expressed it in a good way. He said, health is not mere the absence of disease. Health is being established in the self. Health is the dynamic expression of life. So that makes sense to me. So what is life? What is life? Of course, all living things represent life. So life works through cellular structures. Everything in nature is established as cellular structures. Okay, whether it's a tree, whether it's a flower, whether it's a bush, whether it's an animal, whether it's a human being. We humans happen to be made up of 100 trillion cells. Cells in biology are the basic membrane-bound units that contain the fundamental molecules of life. Okay? The function of the cell represents the structure of the cell. So depending on, all these cells are little factories, they have jobs to do. So whether it's a sponge or a coral, or whether it's even a honeycomb is a basic cellular structure with a rather large cell, okay, which job is to really just to hold the honey, to give the bees an opportunity to discharge their honey. So each cell purpose determines its structure. So for example, here we are looking at two different human cells. On the left side you see a neuron, a neurological cell, whose job it is to transmit impulses and to conduct impulses. On the right side we have a fibrocyte, which is a scar tissue type of cell, which is a repair cell. It repairs damage to tissue, which includes forming scars to hold, damaged tissues back together. So they look totally different because they do different things. So in a nucleus, which you can actually see sort of the nucleus in these neurons here, is located the DNA, which holds the information on what that cell is supposed to do. Well, it holds the information of the entire organism, but it's specialized on the neurological function in this case. So just to put it in perspective, the coronavirus, for example, has 30,000 nucleotides. Okay, we humans have 3 billion nucleotides. So we are a little bit more complex. That is 3 times 10 by the power of 12 cells we have. So that's a lot of cells. And what's fundamental about understanding how to interact with these cells is to understand that these cells and the DNA within needs to communicate. It's all about communication. So it's fundamental in life that these cells and their DNA are connected and can communicate with each other. And this communication is informational and it's energy. Okay? We look at it as energy. The cellular communication works through the meridians that we know from traditional Chinese medicine. These were discovered thousands of years ago, and it just turns out to be that. So I look at these meridians as the internet of the cells of the body. That's how the cells communicate, which equates to, that's how cellular communication, that's where cellular communication happens, within these meridians. And with the immune system, of course, we are intercepting these meridians. We're simply just measuring the chi energy that flows in there. So I can look at this chi energy as data of cellular communications. And it's a lot, because there's a lot going on in these cells. Actually, it is the language of life. This chi energy or cellular communications data is the language of life. We can measure that and we can analyze it. And it tells us what the body is doing, what it's preoccupied with, and the energetic challenges it may be facing, and also the energetic imbalances that may be present, that down the road will lead to dis-ease and health problems. So I just want to mention another energy field that's also present is of course the body biofield. It goes around the body. It's just a perpendicular expression of the meridians and the energy that flows in there. Wherever there's energy flow, there's an electromagnetic field around it, and that's the body biofield. And we can also communicate or interact with that. In fact, that's what we do when we work in metaspace or in without connection, without the harness system. The fascinating thing is that in this, we're looking at, this is the first week of 2021, and the science of epigenetics is just exploding. We are finally connecting energy medicine with science, represented by epigenetics. Genetically, the difference between harmony and disharmony is basically wellness versus illness. Okay, now a lot of these disharmonies energetically that we find, besides the lifestyle choices which we have power over, are mutations and SNPs and variants, genetic variants, which generate dysfunction within the metabolism and the immune system and such. So effective harmonizing communication is important. In order to do that effectively, and what we can do now is to do this with incredible precision. We can address very particular
specific genes and harmonize them to epigenetically change their expression. It's fascinating and it's powerful. And the IMATE system provides that precision in its different data.